Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week. Not a match reaction. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. Two teams literally as bad as each other, although Chelsea are somewhat a little bit better. But that's kind of 90 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Was a hard watch. I don't know where to begin. Don't even know if there's too many moments to even talk about. What are we going to talk about? Henry's in the chat there. How are you, Henry? Hey, Niall. Well, that's the end of the season. Not quite. Still have 10 games to go, Henry. That I still have to for my sins. Redbird's in the chat as well. How are you, Redbird? The only positive is we didn't lose. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking in the game, lads, and I was looking at the game, of course, and I was looking at the Chelsea side and the money they have spent on that team, like in a very short space of time. And it's mad how both these teams have absolutely dropped off the face of the earth. I think if I look at the table now, am I right in thinking? Let me have a look at the table now. I think Aston Villa are now up to 7th. Aston Villa are now a point ahead of us. We've played one game more, obviously. But we've played now 28 games. And for 28 games, we have 43 points. 43 points. And if I'm right now, Arsenal are literally 30 points ahead of us, 29 points ahead of us at this stage. And we have a game in hand on Arsenal. Nearly 30 points in the difference between us and Arsenal. It beggars belief, doesn't it? It's absolutely crazy when you look at it. It's just painful looking at it tonight. But I suppose we'll have a chat about it and try to make some sense of it. Marky's in there as well, our resident ref. How are you, Marky? Like watching the United Churches League game on a Sunday morning, and both teams had been out the night before. I was talking to people in our WhatsApp group during the game. Myself and Ian, of course, were conversing as we do, and I was kind of thinking and looking back. Remember when these two teams were awesome? And you might get a 0-0 draw or you get a draw. But it'd be a really good match. There'd be opportunities and good goalkeeper moments and, lots of talking points coming out of the game and marginal decisions that make the difference and stuff like that. Now tonight, they're just both crap. They're both crap, equally as crap. You know what I mean? It's just mad. I want to have a look at that. Lineup. Just now give me a second here and I'll bring a slide on for this lineup because I don't know what the hell it was, to be honest. But I want to have a look at it. I want to try and make sense. So Henry, if you're in the chat, or Redboard, if you're in the chat, talk to me. Give me some sense on this lineup, will you? Explain to me what this lineup was. We did speak after the Man City game and we did say we wanted to see there needed to be changes because the performance was very, very poor. Now, some of the changes I kind of agreed with. Other changes I kind of thought didn't happen that maybe should have happened. What's the crack in? He knows in the comments there as well. Good to see you, Paul. I was absolutely fine with the back five. Obviously, Alisson wasn't going to change, and thank God for Alisson tonight as well. Made a few saves. But Konate looked a lot better tonight than he did on Saturday. Matip at times looked a little bit sort of, I don't know what way to describe it. He looked a little bit sort of out of control, but was in control. You know that kind of way. Sometimes he goes that way. I thought Gomez did decent at right back. I thought at left back Costas, when we called for him, we asked for it, was an absolute disaster. He was out of the game from minute one. And it's such a weird one. And then we have this midfield of Hendo, Fabinho, and Curtis Jones. You look at Curtis Jones, there's a real dilemma there with Curtis Jones, isn't there? Because he's a local lad, he's in the team. We want him to be a success. We want him to do well. We love that feeling of a local lad in the team and stuff like that. No. But it's just, I don't know. He just seems to be very, very busy on the pitch doing nothing. That's all I see. I see him running around. I see him getting involved. But in terms of the output, I see nothing from him. Joanne's in there as well. How are you, Joanne? Yeah, finished 0-0 tonight, Chelsea and Liverpool. So just doing a match reaction. And Redbird's back in. I knew I shouldn't have watched the game and done some painting instead. Redbird, tell us this. Is it painting as in pictures or painting as in the house or something like that? Actual paintings, is it? Let us know. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, the only thing it would have been like watching paint dry, wouldn't it? In fact, the whole midfield was awful, says Henry. Yeah. But I mean, what were we expecting? I mean, I was having other conversations during the game as well. How does Fabinho get away with it? How does he get away with so many fouls before a booking is delivered? He's absolutely petulant in the fouls. It's crazy, like how he gets away with it. It's mad. Hendo did a lot of shouting on the pitch tonight. Did plenty of complaining and giving out. Maybe he's been listening to people going, maybe he needs to start acting like a captain now, you know what I mean? And then that one with Allison as well and stuff like that was kind of it's kind of weird to say the least. But it's just like we've no leaders tonight. We've no shape. I don't know what formation we were playing. Curtis Jones was just all over the pitch. I don't know what he was doing. Then you go to our front line. Our front line was Darwin Núñez, Bobby Firmino, and Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota again, busy again tonight, but really not in the game. Looked a tad bit off it. Wasn't really a kind of link-up play between himself and Curtis. Just wasn't there. And sure, why would it be there? Should they don't even play together? Where is it? I'm not a painter, but could do portraits better than they play football. Yeah, absolutely. Henry said Taylor was awful too, given all the decision to Chelsea. Do you know something? I think it was kind of a fine line when we talk about the refs. We want them to allow the game to play. And especially in the first half there, he was letting a lot of stuff kind of go and trying to let the game flow because he knows, both ourselves and Chelsea, when we do meet in fixtures, we tend to go at it, and go at it in a kind of a heavy competitive kind of way. This was kind of going at it in a more of a mistimed, slower, way off the pace type of way. So it was weird. So I don't know whether Taylor he was trying to kind of let stuff go to the point where he didn't want to be whipping out cards to kind of destroy the game, which is kind of what we look for and stuff like that. But I suppose there's a fine line between that and players nearly get injured. I did see Joe Felix as well going down holding his face a la Harry Kane last night, where there was very little contact on his face, and that really boosted the hell out of me. Ali should have knocked Hendo out. Can you imagine? Imagine getting sent off and violent contact, knocking your own player out and your own captain. Good Lord. He was so angry, Allison. Yeah, he was, and rightly so. I mean, he must be. Imagine being Allison Becker this season, lads. Imagine having to sit between those two sticks and continually have to try and come up with the goods because of what's in front of you. It must be so frustrating. Ian, I said it before, sometimes we have to go back to the drawing board. You're saying it every night now, Redboard. How can the front line get a chance of scoring if they ain't getting any service? Yeah, and look, normally what happens there, Redboard, isn't it? What happens is like Bobby would drop into midfield a little bit to try and pick up the ball deep and create something and stuff like that, but he couldn't get involved at all. I don't think I heard Bobby. Did we hear Bobby? Did he get 2 balls even in the first half? I never heard his name even mentioned. I'd forgot that he was on the pitch. You know what I mean? And so you have to kind of. I understand. I mean, there was a number of balls played into Darwin as well, and he tries to do an awful lot because again, with Darwin, he was kind of sailing his own ship tonight. You weren't really getting a lot of that movement off Costas outside of him and stuff like that, what you might normally get with Robbo and stuff like that. At times, haven't been getting much of it this season. But Darwin, I think, is coming to the realisation now that when the ball is played into him down the channel down there, he just has to try and kind of do something himself because there's nothing there happening. Even when he checks back, there's just nothing happening. Henry's back in. Firmino did nothing either, so I think changing the lineup didn't solve anything really. Yeah, you want to change the lineup to kind of send a message that maybe the team will go out and perform, and you could turn around and go right. And I might stick with a number of those come the Arsenal game. I mean, the Arsenal game now on the horizon this Sunday. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, I don't think if Klopp was trying to send a message tonight, he didn't really send a message except to say, you know something, we might have been bad on Saturday against Man City, but the players that he excluded tonight or put on the bench are way better than the shite that he turned out. I agree with Redbird. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. I mean, look, it is. It's hard if you're not getting the service and stuff like that. And look, when balls are played into you that way up the front line and stuff like that, Chelsea are going to bully and harass you. They're a physical team, and we knew what was going on. Extra training. I don't think Liverpool as a team needs extra training in. I think they might need less training because they are burnt out to the bone. And I even noticed tonight, I don't know if you lads seen it tonight, even the players that haven't played a lot of football even look banjaks. I was looking at a breakaway there for Chelsea. I think it was in the first half. And Curtis Jones and Costas were just jogging back, like just casually jogging back a la Trent. And I was thinking, surely to God, you guys aren't burnt out. You have done nothing this season. It was just mad. Henry back in. I would have played better tonight, given. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Redbird, exactly 9. Nunes gets no help. He doesn't. And the thing about it is, I think he's come to the realization of it now, and he just puts the head down, gets the ball, and just bombs forward and does whatever he can do. He did try, Redbird. Yeah, he did. Nunes, he did try. In fairness, he was. And the thing about it is, do you ever notice, lads, as well, the way when Nunes plays, there generally is a certain kind of energy on the pitch within the team and stuff like that. Not so much tonight, obviously, with the changed lineup. But when Nunes goes off, that energy level, it's like he takes all the energy from the players and he brings it off with him. And that's really, really concerning. Morris is in tonight. How are you, Morris? Soft game tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Hiya, Ian. How are you, Henry? And hiya, Morris. Hey, Henry, good to see you on last night. Yeah, he was on last night with a bit of crack. Redbird, careful, Henry. Klopp might put you on the player list for the arseholes game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Morrison. Hi, I'm not an arsehole. He means Arsenal. Oh, they're not focused. No, they're absolutely not focused. Henry, I called up last night, Morris. No, you didn't, Henry. You were brilliant. Don't be silly. Of course you didn't. Yeah, I thought. Imagine spending all that money on that Chelsea team to get that output as well, though. That's the only thing. And I suppose, I mean, what are the positives we take from tonight, lads? The positives we take from tonight are: 1, it's a clean sheet. 2, it's another game out of the way, and it's another game closer to the end of the season. There's a positive for you. Yeah, they're not focused. Yeah, no, to say the least. Where do we go? Chelsea wouldn't score at Capel Street with a bag of cash. Absolutely, good lord! It's so like, and like even and even when they did score in off Havertz's arm, you know what I mean. It's just it sums it up, Klopp's plan: play players out of position. He's a genius. Yeah, absolutely. It's just I don't know. Like, where do where do what do you talk about tonight's game? What can you even say? Too busy. We're not too busy looking pretty. We're far from too busy looking pretty. We're too busy looking awful. Henry, at least he got the timing right for the first subs. I don't know. Did he get the timing right for the first subs, Henry? He probably could have subbed lads off after 30 minutes, to be honest. Costas was having a nightmare. Bobby wasn't in the game at all. He could have taken both those off after 20 minutes. Yeah, that's going to Redboard. That's going to what Morris is saying there. Capel Street would be a renowned street here in Dublin, so it'd be well known, Chelsea wouldn't score on it probably. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We're not exactly pulling up shoots ourselves either, are we? Lads, will we have a bit of crack and do player ratings? I know most places aren't doing them, but we could do player ratings for the crack if you want, just to cheer ourselves up. He's going to walk, isn't he, Jurgen? It's looking dire now. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I think if Arsenal were to beat us on Sunday, I think we might have a problem. Houston, there's a problem. I don't know. It's just this is a wild match reaction because I've nothing really to talk about. Lads, what did you think? Here's a question for you lads in the chat. What did you think of Joe Gomez tonight at right back? Give me your thoughts on Joe Gomez. I did say that recently, Morris. It wouldn't surprise me if that actually happened. Yeah, you did call it Henry there about a month ago when we were talking as well. You said it as well as far back as that, But let me know your thoughts on Joe Gomez. I think the others we kind of spoke about, but I thought Gomez tonight. I thought he did. I thought he did okay. Certainly defending was. Didn't know about Capel Street, so not visited yet. Oops. Yeah. Oh, imagine. Good Lord. Let me know your thoughts, lads, on Gomez. Yeah, Redbird Gomez was good tonight. I thought Gomez was solid enough tonight. Didn't do a whole lot wrong. One or two moments when he looked a little bit shaky, but other than that, I thought he was solid enough. And to be honest with you, I'd probably play him again on Sunday. You know what I mean? I'd probably put him in there again on Sunday. He'll be up against who's on that side? Martinelli. We've seen where he's done to Trent in the past. Stick with Gomez. Henry, yeah, I think so. Zero errors leading the goals. Can't complain. Yeah, absolutely. Zero errors leading the goals against Chelsea. Can't complain. Absolutely. Lads, let's have a bit of crack here. We do player ratings. Let us know your player ratings in the comments. Let's start. Alison Becker. What are you giving Becker tonight? Let's see if we agree on it. I think Becker did well tonight. I think he made a couple of good saves. Came out and he fisted the ball out that time as well. Was pretty decent. He seemed more focused. Tonight. Yeah, he did seem more focused tonight. Ox creativity was missing tonight. Yeah. All the creativity was missing tonight, not just Ox. Poor old Ox didn't even make the bench back in London. Henry, I just hope we don't slide anymore after tomorrow's games. That could be a given. Let's see what happens. West Ham versus Newcastle, isn't it? And also, let's see, Brentford against United. Who wouldn't back a double there of Brentford and Newcastle, huh? Who wouldn't back a double there of Brentford and Newcastle? Yeah, 7 for Becker Morris. Yeah, I think that's a good shoe. I'm surprised Mello didn't start. Not even didn't start, Henry, but didn't even come on. Like, talk to me about, like, let's have a look at the substitutions here, actually, before we go through the ratings. 7 for Becker, I definitely agree with Morris. But let's have a look at the substitutions here, right? So, obviously, 65 minutes, Bobby Firmino goes off. How he got 65 minutes, I do not know, because he was just not in the game at all. And Mo Salah comes on. Took Mo Salah about 15 minutes to come into the game as well. On 66 minutes, Costas goes off and Andy Robertson comes on. So Project Send a Message has already failed. Then on 79, The Scows are in our team. Curtis Jones comes off for James Milner. That one to me, and the next one on 79 as well. Darwin Núñez going off for Cody Gakpo. Darwin Núñez shouldn't have gone off. And I don't want to hear about saving his legs for the Arsenal game because that's absolute nonsense. That's where the energy got sucked out of us. But talk to me about that midfield change there. Curtis Jones for James Milner. Why are we taking off Curtis Jones if we want to put fresh legs in midfield? Why are we bringing on James Milner? Why aren't we bringing on Fabio Carvalho? Question for you, lads. What do you think? What did you think of that substitution, that midfield substitution? Ian's back in. The point is, not even focused playing football. Players these days just too busy on their looks and looking pretty. Sunshine boys. Redboard in. Without Ali, we'd have lost, so it's a 7. Yeah, spot on, Redboard. Good shout. And absolute garbage football from both teams. Yeah, absolutely. It was the worst game to watch, really, when you think about it. Imagine all the games that were on tonight, and Liverpool, Chelsea is in 0-0. Redboard, Mello, the most expensive NHS patient ever. Yeah, imagine, I think he's getting paid somewhere. Did I read somewhere today? It's either 150 or 190 grand a week or something crazy like that. Absolutely crazy, shocking. I think he's played 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Henry, hi, Acers. Diaz is such a huge loss for Liverpool this season. He is, but again, you know, lots of players not showing up. Luis Diaz can't do it on his own. Morrison there, defensive move, the Milner one. Yeah, but why are we going defensive? Like, I mean, why would we go defensive when we know how poor that Chelsea side has been performing? We know they're not scoring goals. Even the chances they had tonight, they were way off. So why go defensive? Why not put on Fabio Carvalho and get on the front foot and see can we do something? You know what I mean? Let's be honest here. This is tonight is kind of a free hit, really, because it doesn't do anything for Chelsea and it doesn't do anything for us. So you may as well have a go and try something, you know. No time for that. And Henry's back in. God help us against Arsenal. Yeah, it could be a tough day on Sunday at Anfield. Redboard, you saying Millie can't run? Didn't you see him pelting up and down the field? Me neither. Yeah, you're bringing him on. Let's make a midfield substitution there and bring in fresh legs. Fresh legs. James Milner, Fabio Carvalho sitting on the bench going, "Hi Jurgen, I'm here. I'm here if you need me." Or has he forgotten? Like, what's he doing? I mean, has Fabio Carvalho pulled a Saha or something like that we don't know about? Acers, Henderson should just retire. Oh God, here we go. When is Mudrik's debut? Yeah, he came on all right. God Lord, he came on all right, and he just moves the ball around. Doesn't really do anything. Like when you look at the price tags of these players, like they're paying what 88 million, was it, for Mudryk over 7 years or 8 years or something like that for that kind of situation. Like it's beggars belief. Crazy. Yeah, let's get down. Let's keep on going then through the player ratings for the crack for our sanity. Joe Gomez, lads. Yeah, Henry wasted money. Absolutely. Imagine that. Imagine being the agent that negotiated that, and imagine the club sitting back looking at that going, 88 million, probably 100,000 a week or whatever it is. Madness. Lads, let us know about Joe Gomez. What's your rating on Joe Gomez? Saka is licking his lips at that Liverpool defence. I thought Chelsea would have been licking their lips tonight looking at that starting lineup. That starting lineup was shocking. Let's remind ourselves again on that starting lineup. Alisson Becker, Gomez, Matip, Konate, Costas, Fabinho, Henderson, Curtis Jones, Jota, Bobby Firmino, Darwin Núñez. Let that sink in, lads. Never forget that lineup. Should never happen again. Saka's licking his lips, that defence, that Liverpool defence. Yeah, absolutely. Henry. Their agents must be killing themselves with laughter. Yeah, absolutely. No time for players that just want to muck about. It's a waste of time and money. Yeah, absolutely. Gomez gets an 8. Yeah, I think it's solid 7 or 8 anyway. I'd agree with that, Morris. Every player rated 5 across the board. Bleeding shite game. Fair play, Ted. Check out Ted's channel as well. Of course, check out all the channels in the chat, lads. Redbird's back in. I hope our coach breaks down so we can't get to Anfield. At least we won't see us being humiliated. Can you imagine? Good Lord. Lads, what did they just make as well tonight? Van Dijk apparently sick. Apparently talk of some sort of a 24-hour bug or something like that. Obviously didn't want to make the trip, obviously, to be on the bench or something like that. So I'd say he just totally cheesed off of the season. Was told he probably wasn't starting. He said, "Grand, I'm not heading to London, and see you later." We are here to play football. We are here to talk about football. Morris in the comments, I say Darwin Núñez be licking his lips at Rob Holding too. Yeah, maybe. Redbird Gomez with a 7. Yeah, great show. 7 or an 8 for me for Gomez. Joel Matip. Lads, give us Joel Matip. Arteta sitting in the stand taking notes. He could have fitted all those notes on the back of a stamp. What notes? Acers, tell us, what notes would you have been taking tonight? If you're Arteta sitting in the stand, what notes would you be taking? I did see Frank Lampard in the stand. Are we expecting an announcement of an appointment? Is agent Frank heading back to Stamford Bridge, is he, or something like that? That would be gas, wouldn't it? But Acers, let us know, what's the notes? What would he have taken from that game? Lads, I'm going with John Matip for a 6. I thought some of his defending tonight looked like it was last ditch, even though it wasn't. I'm going with a 6 for Joel Matip. Henry's in. Are you sure, Ian? Because that's not football tonight. More like a bad case of bedwetting. Absolutely. Morris back in. Could be a new variant VVD has. I reckon maybe he was suffering from a dizzy spell from being turned inside out this season. Maybe that's what it was. Redbirds agreeing, yeah, 6 for Matip. Yeah, good show. Let's see now. Let's have real fun now. Konate, Big Ebu tonight. I think made up for the error by the clearance off the line from Kovacic. And took a proper whack from Kante first half. I'm reading here. Kept going second half. Yeah, interesting for Ebu. I gave him a 6. Controlled most of the game. Tried to muse aim Redbird, they got stuffed. And Ted is in a 5 for him. He's given a 5 for Konate. Yeah, 5's tough, Ted, isn't it? Clean sheet, like 5's tough. Here's a fun one for you, lads. Costas Simicus. What's Costas getting tonight? Ebu 6.5, yeah. 6.5, yeah. Not too bad, Redbird, yeah. Eno with a shout out to everyone. Cheers, Eno. Costas. Allison, of course, gets a. Allison Henry reckons Allison gets a 9. Yeah. Probably high. If he wants a 9 off me these days, he's going to have to go up the other end and score a header. Ted's in clean sheet because Chelsea are afraid to hit the target. Yeah, absolutely. Acers, Liverpool players all getting 0. Simple. Keep it simple. I'm trying to take something out of the game, Acers. I'm trying to fill a match reaction here. Redbird, you calling them dinosaurs, Henry? Ted, I'd have kept a clean sheet against Chelsea tonight. Yeah, no, yeah. Stop now, Morris. Stop. Who's that 7 for? That 7 is not for Costas, is it? Stop now. Seriously, were you watching the match? Good Lord. Tell me that's not for Costas. Henry, laugh out loud. Got a better answer, Redbird. Oh, God. Costas, lads. Costas has to get what? What would he have gotten tonight? A 3? 3, maybe a 4 at a push. He was poor. Real poor tonight. Redbird, some of them are dinosaurs, to be honest, yeah, absolutely. Costas gets a 4 from me. Fabinho, lads. What was you thinking of Fabinho tonight? Costas gets a 3, yeah. Sorry, I meant an 8. Stop, Morris. An 8 for Costas. That's the case. Allison gets a 20. Um, Costas gets a 3. Yeah. Fabinho, lads. What were you thinking on Fabinho tonight? How does he get away with so many fouls? So many persistent fouls. Seen it there at the weekend against City as well. He was all over Grealish like a rash, getting away with. And then you see him again tonight. Game's only kicking off, and he's in the height of it again. Redbird is giving Costas a 3. Yeah, that's about right. Fabinho, lads. I think Fabinho gets a 6 tonight. I think he wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. I'd like to see him, though. The one thing I've noticed about Fabinho, lads, I don't know whether you've noticed it this season as well. He doesn't have that kind of control in midfield that he used to have. He seems to be way off at times, But seriously, I think I would be better if we were not in Europe, especially if FSG don't hand Klopp excessive amounts of money to spend. Yeah, it's a good show, Henry. 6 for Fabinho, yeah, spot on, Morris. Fabinho 5 was literally average, yeah. Yeah, good shoot, Ted. You need a player like that to get stuck in. Yeah, I think he gets. I don't know what it is. It's like he used to be brilliant at getting stuck in and breaking up the play and doing all that kind of stuff. Now he kind of gets stuck in and he just looks awkward. He looks like he's just going to tear someone up, and I just don't know how he gets away with the bookings. Redbird went with a 5 for Fabi as well, yeah. Trying to get stuck in, yeah, 100%. Jordan Henderson, lads, the captain. What'd you make of Jordan tonight? Jordan. Can we rate FSG? I think everyone knows the answer to that, Henry, don't they? And Klopp, yeah, you can definitely rate Klopp. Don't worry, we'll get around to Klopp, no doubt about it. Ted gets a 4 for Hendo. I think a 4 is like he was again tonight a little bit wasteful and stuff like that. Looked very distracted at complaining to other people on the pitch as opposed to taking care of his own game. He was getting very frustrated down that side as well. I don't think it was quite as bad as a -10. Redbird gives him a 3. I would have given him more than a 3 now, in fairness. I would have given him maybe a 5. I was thinking towards a 5 because he was getting involved. He was trying to make things happen. And there was a lot of runs going up front. I don't know if you noticed it tonight as well. Jota was trying to make a number of runs and people just weren't spotting it. The thing I noticed about Hendo as well again tonight, very comfortable in moving the ball backwards rather than forward, which just really kills the momentum as well, But I don't think personally he was as bad as a 3. Now, here's one that's going to be an interesting one. Curtis Jones, lads. Curtis Jones. Acers, did you watch the game in another universe? You can always rely on Acers to come out with the right down the far side of the range. He was captain though, didn't do much to drive the team on. He actually did at Ted at times. You could see he was trying to drive the team on, but because of the makeup of the team and the structure of the team, there was a lot of disjointment there. So when he was trying to move into that position to create that movement on that right-hand side, the ball either wasn't coming to him, or when the ball came to him and he turned, there was no one there for him. So yeah, an interesting one. Sorry, Acers first party will destroy Henderson on Sunday. That's if Henderson plays. Morris back in. The amount of football Hendo and Milner are playing this year is a testament to not filling the squad last summer. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Couldn't agree more. Yes, I was a bit cruel on Hendo, so I'll give him a 5. Yeah, I think that's fair. 5 is fair for him. He wasn't all that bad. Curtis Jones gets a 2.5 from Ted. That should be a -2.5, Henry thinks. He shouted at Ali and the ref should have sent him off. That's one of those moments like Klopp talking about City the other day. Maybe we would have been better with 10 men, would we? Who knows? Yeah, Curtis Jones. Um, the thing about what do you think, lads, about Curtis Jones? He brings a lot of energy to the pitch when he's on there and stuff like that, but he just seems to be busybodying around, trying to. Is he trying too hard to create an impression to the gaffer on a kind of a situation that's probably a lost cause? I just don't think Klopp. I don't think Klopp believes we're going to get there with Curtis Jones. I don't think he does. And I think Curtis goes out trying to impress the gaffer rather than trying to play his game. And I think because of that, he's busybodying around the pitch all the time. Looks really, really busy. Look at Tasmanian Devil nearly. But just there's no real output. Nothing actually really happens. So it's just a weird one. Curtis Jones. If Partey avoids the police, we should be all good. Did he not bring the twin back with him, Morris? No, that you sent me, that video you sent me. Runs around a lot, but not doing anything. Spot on, Ted. There it is. That sums it up, basically. Still not sure about Curtis 2.5. I wouldn't have given him a 2.5. I probably would have given him somewhere between a 4 and a 5. Busy, but not busy doing anything, ineffective really, And in a midfield like that, he has the opportunity tonight to kind of display what he can do, and he doesn't display it, and he's in there with Fabinho and Henderson. He's not looking like anything, I think he's the player that all Liverpool fans want to be the next breakout. But in reality, he won't get anywhere near a young Theo Walcott. He's nowhere near where he needs to be. And this is a long project as well. This project is nearly 5 years at this stage. You know what I mean? Like if he was going to be up to the mark, he would have been up to the mark by now. Jota's an interesting one, lads. Talk to me about Jota. What would you give Jota? Still looks very, very, very rusty back off the injury, doesn't he? Still just labouring in terms of his energy and his movement and stuff like that. Henry, but at least we can have fun with you, Noel. You crack up. Listen, that's all we can do, Henry. All we can do is laugh at this stage. No point getting upset about it. We've done enough therapy sessions on here with match reviews and previews and all, where it's just an absolute drag of a season. Most content creators at this stage won't even do previews and reviews. It's gotten so bad. Redboard in poker. We've been crying out for legs. Maybe Klopp's forgot you need to be a baller as well. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. 7 for Jota. You give him a 7. You give him that high, Ted, did you? I was thinking somewhere around a 6. Again, he was kind of like Jota's another one of those ones as well, isn't he? He can look really, really busy in a game. But if you look at it this season, he's been looking really, really busy in games. But again, his output just hasn't really been there, So 7 is a bit high, I think, for Jota. I give him a 6. Looks rusty, but he's making the runs he needs to, but not getting the ball. Yeah, he made a couple of runs tonight. I seen on the front line. He was running across that front line, making moves. And again, the boys just turned around, switched back in, and went back to Mata, back to Kanate. Now, it's either they didn't see the move, or they're sensitive enough that they know that if they're going to play a bad pass and they're not up to the pass that needs to match the movement, that they know Klopp is going to go in hard on them, and they're probably worried about that. I don't know. Not too sure. Redbird, Jota no longer. Yeah, absolutely. The old goals has dried up very much. Did they say tonight he hasn't scored a goal in 30 appearances? Did I hear that right? He hasn't scored a goal in 30 appearances. That's not good at that level. Got to be worth something this season, huh? No, yeah, absolutely. If you want legs, Redbird, Stacey Keebler has them for days, but wouldn't have her playing for a professional football team. Absolutely not. Hats off to Stacey Keebler going into the Hall of Fame. That brightened up my night, Ted. Thank you for that. Morris back in. If being in the situation you and Henry are in many years, yeah, absolutely. Hashtag GP Productions FC. GP Productions FC. Morris is an upper tier, Irene. He's an upper tier boy. Does our fantasy chancer show, fantasy football this season. Redbird. I didn't think Jota was good at all. Maybe I'll jump up to a 5. Yeah, somewhere around that. I think it was a frustrating night for him as well, but I do think he's kind of way off what he is. And we know he's been linked with Newcastle as well, so we'll have to see how that pans out. I wonder, would he make the jump? Because he's probably concerned as well about the front line when it's fully fit, where he fits into that and stuff like that. And if they bring reinforcements with Bobby going out as well, let's see what happens there. Henry, which situation would that be, Morris? Yeah, no, Morris is talking about he's in that situation, Arsenal, from an Arsenal point of view. Are you doing preview with Kyle Walsh and Del Boy for Arsenal preview? Yeah, we'll probably get a few of the boys on if they're available and stuff like that. And of course, Morris as well. We will do a preview on that. And it's going to be an interesting preview because it's hard to know what way it's going to go now with the players that he dropped tonight and the players he brought in. And like, try and pick a team. Try and pick a team for Sunday, lads. Just imagine that. 31 appearances now without a goal. Yeah, that's shocking for a forward playing player for Liverpool, isn't it? Ian, I have noticed. And GP, the situation of a season being over since January or before, yeah, absolutely. Jesus. God. Our season died after the first 5 games, didn't it, really, when you think about it? God, it was shocking. Little did we know. Remember as we went on in the early stages of the season, lads, and we were saying that this could potentially get worse. This could get more toxic. This could get even worse. We find ourselves in April, and we're playing a midfield of Curtis Jones, Fabinho, and Henderson against Chelsea at the Bridge. Henry, but I will go back to what I was saying last night about fans paying excessive money to watch the team playing and being let down badly by players, Klopp and FSG. Yeah, absolutely. We may do a combined 11. Yeah, I could just flash up the Arsenal 11 there if you want, Morris, just to save us the time. We could put a slide together, all right. How many of those appearances are off the bench for 10 or so minutes, though? Too sure. He was getting a decent bit of game time before he got injured, and since he's come back as well, I mean, he's been putting them in there. So I don't know. I'm not too sure. It's still, even if it is Ted, I mean, even if it is, say, even if like 8 of those appearances were like from that, still it's shocking to have produced nothing in 31 appearances. Poor, like Liverpool turning our dreams into nightmares. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, Morris. Acers. Liverpool season was over before Halloween. Yeah, the nightmare before Christmas, huh? Bobby Firmino, lads. What are you rating Bobby Firmino? Struggle to do a combined 11. Can Gerrard come out of retirement and play? Absolutely. Listen, there's a bunch of lads who played in that Legends game a few weeks ago against Celtic. I tell you, we take them. That's for sure, Henry. Bobby Firmino, lads. Somewhere between a 4 and a 5. I think he just did nothing tonight, really. You look at the first half, it's hardly even mentioned. Real struggle for Bobby tonight. Who else have we got here? Darwin Núñez. He's got nice legs. Does that count? It can count if you want. If that's the rating you want to go with. Win, lose or draw, we support our team. That's what fans do, Henry. Even when the likes of FSG are taking the piss. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're never going to stop following Liverpool, are we? Look, and we're all old enough to remember the times that we went through, the 30 years and the living in the shadows of those 90s and the 2000s, in the shadows of United and in the shadows of Arsenal and Chelsea and everything else, So listen, we've marched along that road for a long time now at this stage. Just don't want to go back there. Forgot Bobby was on the pitch at 4. Yeah, exactly. First half, I don't think he even got a mention, did he? Was Bobby on the pitch or did he sneak off for a shy midway through the game? Yeah, absolutely. I gave him a 4 for his smile. Yeah, that's about it. I think it's somewhere around a 4, isn't it? And that's probably being generous. Big up, Dave. Love the videos earlier and stuff like that. Some crack. Dave, I think we need to get back chatting about the 70s, 80s, and 90s TV, don't we? Need to stop talking about Liverpool. We've more fun when we talk about the old TV shows and stuff like that. I don't know. My magnifying glass broke. Yeah. Yo, Dave, how you doing? And Morris back in. Still as bad as it's been. It hasn't been Chelsea bad. Yeah, I suppose when you see what they've spent, like they've spent a lot of money and brought in players. Um, so yeah, it's for them it's kind of worse. The only thing is they're still in the Champions League, and sure anything can happen. I know they've Real Madrid and stuff like that. Henry's in. Hey Dave, and Dave's in. 80s, 90s shows incoming, mate. Yeah, cheer us up quick. Um, lads, Darwin Nunes, what are you giving Darwin tonight? Will we be generous? Will we give him a 6 or a 7 for endeavour? Acer's back in. Liverpool players are only there to collect their wage. Yeah, big up the chat. Red Bird. You can't beat the old shows. They're all still classic. Oh, Red Bird, you want to join in? Some of those shows we've done with Dave, where things have gotten so bad that all we talk about is all those old 80s shows and stuff like that. Really cheers us up. Morrison, they have a plan, Noel. It's a new Chelsea. Let's see. Henry, I agree. And Ted's in giving a 6 for Darwin Nunes. Yeah, somewhere around a 6 or a 7. I think there was a little bit of endeavour there, but at times probably guilty of trying to do too much because kind of having to. Uh, can we rewind to the glory days of Shankly and Bob Paisley? I'd be quite happy just to rewind back to last season where we were chasing a quad. That would do me fine. I don't even need to even go back that far, but yeah, I take Shankly and Paisley at the moment. Chelsea fans must be pissed. They spent all that money and still couldn't score against a crap Liverpool side. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking. Here we go, Dave. We need the A team to turn up on Sunday. So we can run up and hit one of those injections into the shoulder of Saka and knock him out like B.A. Baracus. Oh, big time. Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean? Can't even think about it. But yeah, it's, yeah, Acers. FSG should be asking Donald Trump to buy Liverpool. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Donald Trump owned the football team? Good Lord. Which team is Dave? Our under 21, our under 18s, or our ladies? Oh, God. Yeah, I'll look out for those shows. I bet they're the bomb. They're not actually Redbird. They're not actually 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s shows. What it is we go on. Dave comes on and we do match reactions on Dave's channel. And instead of talking about the football, we just start talking about those old TV shows and stuff like that. And I'm sure people, Dave, do be in the chat and all thinking, what are these guys talking about? Like, we're supposed to be here talking about Liverpool, and we start talking about Knight Rider and Airwolf and Blue Thunder and the Professionals and Minder and all these things. And where did we go last time? What was the last time we did, Dave? Well, it went as far as Tales from the Unexpected. Remember Tales from the Unexpected came up? That was cracking. I've never seen Liverpool fans nervous to play Arsenal. Morris, we're not nervous at all. We're not nervous at all because at this stage I think we've gotten to the stage now where we've given up and we don't really care on the season and we're just kind of seeing it out. Redbirds in. We need the A, B, and C team. Yeah, just play the under 23s on Sunday or something like that. We've gone from dropping the lads who didn't perform on Saturday, well, most of them, and now we've played Chelsea tonight, and we may as well drop all those lads as well. So we may as well just churn the 23s out or something like that. Henry, this podcast has made me smile. That's all we can do, lads. What else can we do at this stage? You know what I mean? If you don't smile, you'd nearly walk away. I have actually done 80s, 90s shows. I know, Dave, you were telling me you had a channel on it before or something like that, haven't you? Yeah, absolutely. They'd be a lot of fun and stuff like that. Nostalgia is always great for cheering you up, especially in these dark times of being a fan of Liverpool. That's on my list to do, Dave. Yeah, absolutely, Henry. Such fun times back watching all those TV shows and stuff like that. And reminiscing and nostalgia about them and stuff like that. Lads, I'm not even going to ask you to give me ratings for the subs because they were just bewildering. We need MacGyver to sign a few players in the summer. Yeah. Imagine, yeah. Having said that, Dave, he was able to make, remember MacGyver, he was able to like literally make anything out of anything. Remember, it was kind of cool and stuff like that. So you never know. You might be able to bring Henderson into a room maybe and churn him out as a player for next season or something like that. Can you imagine? I heard Klopper was checking out the Park Kids for the Arsenal game. Yeah, he needs to do something. Needs to do something. Freddy's Nightmares every Saturday night, 11 p.m. Sky, one back in the day. Freddy's Nightmares every Saturday. Remember that one? It's an interesting one, I must look that one up. He could make Mello a player. He'd have to find them first, wouldn't he? He'd have to find them first. What did we think, lads? Look, we have to talk about that Milner substitution, don't we? That Milner substitution and that the Curtis Jones and that Milner substitution. Like bringing James Milner on when Carvalho's there and Mello is there, it's just spoke about it earlier. It's absolutely bewildering. Anyway, I'm off to bed to cry and scream, but I bled red always. Absolutely. Listen, good night, Henry. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Redbird's in. The old comedians were the best. Yeah, absolutely. What was your favourite one, Redbird? Give us your favourite comedian from back in the day. Interesting. Having said that, I can't be upset. Saturday night I'm going to see Peter Kay with the missus. So that should be a lot of fun. I am a big fan of Peter Kay. I do like him. Klopp should be buying all United rejects for next season. No. Stop. You don't seriously want me now next season to be looking at McTominay and all these seriously and having to clap. Really? Enjoy your nightmares after another shit show. Yeah, absolutely. And Dave's in. I think Klopp's head is already on next season, mate. Yeah, I think he's somewhat checked out. Martial. We're just getting over that hill, Morris, of injuries and our A&E department being stuffed to the gills and not having a doctor and all this kind of thing. And you want us to look at Martial. Ted, you can have Sancho. Ted checked out on Sancho already. Interesting. A lot of money there, Ted. A lot of money there. Interesting times, lads. Interesting times. Lads, I think I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I don't think there's a huge amount to say, really. Maguire in defence. Yeah. Do you know something? As mad as this sounds, you'd probably nearly think that the Harry Maguire that plays for England, wouldn't you? When you think about it. He'll probably get, wait till you see Acers in the summer, he'll probably get a decent move. Wait till you see, as mad as that seems. Anthony or Weghorst. And Weghorst. No. They can stay exactly where they are. They're doing fine where they are. Don't want any of them. We don't want to have to deal with anything else that we eventually have to get out the door pretty quick. We have enough stuff to get out the door this season without adding to it for the following season and stuff like that. Hitting the hay, go ahead, bro. Here's or having you on. Listen, folks, I'm going to hit the hay myself. It was a long one. Dazzler will be driving all them to Anfield for free. Absolutely, Dazzler would. Folks, really appreciate you in the chat. Evan Fair, now we're talking. Ted reckons get Roman Reigns in. The man's defence record is unrivaled. Absolutely. And Morris, Evan Ferguson, I take him in a heartbeat, Morris, in a heartbeat. Imagine the money Brighton won for him now. Folks, been a pleasure. Gotta go. As always, sub to the channel and all the channels in the chat. Big up to you guys from coming on. It's, these are going to be just like this from now till the end of the season. Just a bit of fun where we talk about TV shows and stuff like that with a sprinkling of the crap that we have to watch. But subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and of course, drop a like on the video on the way out. YouTube is not our friend. Talk to you real soon. Check it out, folks. I will be back tomorrow night. Dynamo's doesn't at 8 o'clock. We're going to do a whole review of WrestleMania 39. Should be fun. I think Kenny Noble might be joining us as well from the book signing. And we'll be going through all the usual stuff and news on Dynamo's doesn't. We'll definitely be talking about the sale of WWE or the merger with UFC through Endeavour. And various stuff like that. Then Thursday, join us. Thursday, Tier Talk with the Dazzler. We're going to be doing our Beat the Bookie, latest news, preview for the weekend's matches for our sins, and all that good stuff. And then probably Friday, I'm going to do a preview for the Arsenal game. I'll see can I load up some of the guys. I know these Arsenal guys are going to be coming at me like an absolutely loaded Winchester shotgun. So let's see what happens. Maybe Kyle might be available and Dell and of course Morris. And I'll just sit here on my own and just take all these magic bullets that are going to come at me from these Arsenal. They'll be shooting stuff out of those cannons. Until next time, folks. Cheers.